Oh, I don't know. I thought I was hearing some sort of feedback on my phone from the music, and I was like, oh, is that not gonna work? As I'll say, the background tunes I'm providing by my computer via Pandora. Pandora. Oh, now that is a road dog, huh? As far as like websites, free streaming services, I've had that for like, it's been long, that's been with me longer than some email accounts, you know? Man, some of these Pandora stations. Love you, Pandora. Just taking a moment to reflect, and I'm trying something new with my landscape on my phone, and I'll tell you, I don't like it. Like, I mean, I know I'm pretty good at looking at the camera, but there is this tendency to want to look at yourself, and when the camera is right above, you can just like, look, there's no hiding it. This is obvious. Like, I'm looking at me, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at me, I'm looking at you. And even like looking up at where the camera should be at the top, well, not should be, but would be at the top of, you know, this landscape, this horizontal view, but it is not, because it's over on the side over here. So I'm going to make more of an effort to look over in this direction, but this is necessary for the experiment to continue, because I am pleased to well, that's great. I am pleased to report that don't you steal the show from me, Mars, that I have started to play around with iMovie on my phone. You know, really not so hard. I'm sure everybody knew that. I think people have told me that. There have been other programs and things I've paid for even, that are intuitive, and it was just a matter of sitting and doing it, and I've said it multiple times on the videos. I just didn't want to do it, and you know what? I did, and it's kind of fun. Although now I'm understanding, because if I want to put pictures here, insert pictures into the video with the iPhone, having the view this way versus this way looks a lot better. It just does. So I get it now why people tend to do that. It makes more sense. I was like something y'all knew that I didn't, and would have required like this much effort to find out, which, you know what, I finally did. So yay me. Actually, I'm so excited. Do you understand what kind of a game changer this is gonna be? Like, I mean, I kind of like the fact that all of my videos are typically like one-shot takes. I mean, and they're still gonna be one-shot takes, but all the frustrations about if I can't figure out something or find something, I could just be like, pause, you're not gonna see this anyways, because I'm gonna cut this out. Like, even maybe all of my natural, like, this is just interesting, the natural pattern behavior, the natural behavioral pattern to the tendency, the habit to look directly up instead of like, nope, this is retrain your brain, rewiring my brain. So that's good. That's some Dr. Joe Dispenza type stuff. I'm gonna, well, I mean, that's just some brain stuff, but you know, like the rewiring aspect, like, cool, doing something new. Let's change it up a bit. Let's take a different route. Let's put on our pants with the other leg first, kind of thing. I'm gonna cut out so many of these ums and you knows. No, we don't know. But, oh well, this is fun. And then there'll be fun bloops, bleeps, bleepers of a bloops. That's a Dave Chappelle reference. No, it's funny because I was sitting here thinking about things like, I know I wanted to do a video, and I'm trying to hold myself accountable to this, and I've got so many things that are like rocking me shamanistically right now, so it's just sort of like, I don't even know where to begin. I remember I was getting ready to get started, and then I was like, oh, let me go ahead and, do a snapshot of the body graph going on with the transits, because I can do this now. And now it's not just in the cover photo, which I don't know if anyone can even see that, notices, pays attention, but as far as like people might be able to like notice for themselves or hear different voices or what things are being lit up, like the students of human design and stuff, it's like, it'd be more helpful if you had something that you could reference like this periodically, or, you know, I don't know. And I was realizing that, you know, we're currently, the sun is currently in gate 5, and the earth is currently in gate 35. So sun in 5, the gate of waiting, the gate of fixed patterns. The earth in gate 35 is the gate of progress, the gate of change. But they're both in line 6, so they're about to shift in, like, well, at this point, like 1 minute. So like at this time, it was probably like maybe half an hour ago or something. I think half an hour ago. And so I started to, I was like, oh, let me just wait until it shifts, you know, like I'm probably already feeling the next gate's energy anyhow. You know, it's interesting because gate 35 is a gate, it's a throat gate, and it is the voice of I feel. And I don't have it active like as a hanging gate in my chart. However, my cognition is feeling. And so I do use the voice of I feel quite frequently. There was a video, actually I was having a lovely, I need to revisit that email conversation with Human Design Hawaii. We were talking about cognition. I'd done a video and it was kind of deep, like that was kind of deep, like those awareness channels. Like I'm still munching on that amongst a bunch of other things on this smorgasbord, right? But I just say, yeah, like, so I definitely had some like power and things going on, I think, while this sun transit was playing out. We just changed just now. Just now while I was talking, the earth has changed. And this is what I was gonna get into. The earth has changed into gate 45, gathering together, the gate of the gatherer, and the sun has moved into gate 26, the taming power of the gate of the egoist. Now, I say this because this is what I've been dabbling with. Like, I have gate 26 active in my design. It's pretty prominent. It's in my design, my body designs Earth in line 2, and it is in my personality designs Neptune in line 6. And Neptune is all like illusion and spirituality. Gate 26 is really like kind of like trickery, authority, illusions. I mean, already having that in Neptune says something, but then having that in the body Earth, like this is also the aspect that grounds me. Like in my gene keys, you know, since it's my body Earth in human design, well, not since, but that's how they correlate. In gene keys, this is my purpose sphere. And so 26, gate 26 is moving from the shadow of pride through the gift of artfulness to the city of invisibility. Now, I preface all of this. I also have this. I just hit something. It just trips me out, like looking at myself and looking like. I say all this because my understanding, like, so I had a reading a while ago, like a Gene Keys reading, my first Gene Keys reading with Peter Tung, a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago. You know, he was talking a lot about gate 26. He was talking about how it was like one of his favorites. It's like that Loki energy, it's that trickster energy, and he was talking about Merlin. So it's like, it's very magical. It's very, you know, it can be foolhardy, a little childish, like folly, but just in the sense of like playing and enjoying life and just kind of like laughing things off and perception. optical illusions kind of thing, like magic. Like I love magic. I love optical illusions. So I say all this to say, like, this is in the back of my awareness, right? And I remember Peter Tung talking about getting cinnabar, how cinnabar is a really transformative stone. And so for my birthday, I found a beautiful raw piece of cinnabar. I like to say this guy found me. And pretty powerful stone. I would look it up. I had never heard anything about cinnabar, and also referred to as like dragon's blood as a stone, and like if you're into like protection as incense, and I'm sure you're familiar. Got it on its own little. Oh! Cutting that out. I'm so sorry, cinnabar stone. I'm just trying to show you off. I have it on its own little throne. Put it back there. Pretty. This guy brings some transformative stuff, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, he Peter Tung had recommended cinnabar. I think I felt like the heat and some energy from when it first arrived. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Anyways, went off on a tangent on the cinnabar, but he said that would be really helpful with unlocking the gate 26, or tapping into that energy. So now this is my understanding from like the human design gene keys perspective, right? Now, what else has been happening for me is that Papa Legba has been coming up to me in messages and dreams. Now, I don't know much about like all of that. So I know like when I first moved to this state, I became aware of African religions like Ifa, Yoruba traditions, but and Orishas, prior to that, I really had no knowledge. So like never heard anything, which I mean, that's just a testament to the colonization of spirituality. You know, I definitely would say even back then, I was aware of, you know, the information of, you know, my people being stolen and abused and then repackaged and repurposed and resold to us. And, you know, there's something that I just connect with. Like, there clearly is a passionate drive for devotion and ceremony and ritual amongst melanated people. And, you know, I guess in other traditions as well. But you see that with, like, indigenous pagan mythologies. I mean, all of that sort of stuff is deeply rooted in symbolism, and practitioners, devout practitioners, go through some pretty great lengths to show their love and appreciation for their deities, for their gods, their reverence, I suppose. So this is kind of going to be all over the place because, like, you know, in my modern priestess class, there's been a lot of information about connecting with our ancestors and connecting with our own lineages and honoring our own, you know, what's in our blood, our own ancestry, our own divine, sacred, wisdom-keeping genetics, right? Now, I've studied a lot of things, but as far as, like, maybe connecting in terms of that regard, I haven't, because I haven't had as much information. Now, that has been changing over the years, right? To the point where I have names of my grandparents. I have pictures now of ancestors, up to like having a basic understanding, right, of a portion, a predominant portion of my genetic makeup. So like my biological sister on my father's side had her, you know, DNA test done and sent me the results for the Black ancestry. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, that's probably like, maybe it's not exactly 1% correct or something, which it should be, but like, yeah, predominantly. So I'm predominantly West African is the African ancestry, right? So, excuse me. Now, I just found this out maybe like 2 weeks ago. And then this past week or so, well, a couple days ago, it came back up into my awareness that Ifa is West African, is of Yoruba, Nigerian, well, like in Sierra Leone, all that. And actually, also, don't get it twisted. I also feel like I need to explore, the Muslim religion as well. Just, I think, from the aspect of the religious, connecting more with the, I don't know, but I think I need to explore that a little more as well. But I have the Quran and I have, access to information. I just don't feel the real pull to it yet, but I feel like it's on deck, Like, I know a little, but I feel like it's on deck, because that's another religion that definitely, like, devotees are very about it. And I don't know, as I'm saying this out loud, maybe it's just like Western Americans aren't about it, Like, maybe in our woo-woo, anything goes, spirituality, acceptance, like, we've lost the importance of ritual and ceremony and sacred space. Like, yeah, we make sacred space and we, like, light some incense, light a candle, maybe cast a circle, but, like, tending to our ancestors every day, or servicing certain levels of deities, on different days of the week, like with just offerings and things like that. I don't think, like, we pray, and Catholics maybe a little bit more with the nail stand thing. And obviously their ceremony of, but I don't know if we really actually do, and I can look at it and, like, we don't do that anymore, and it's like, no, we don't do that anymore. But if you look at other countries and people of faith, I mean, maybe they really do respect and then do more. I mean, I'm talking this out loud because this is something I'm feeling I'm missing. When I keep talking about Faith Forged by Fire, I'm like, I need to just give more of myself. I'm getting the messages. Why am I not just doing these simple things that are being asked of me? Which, this leads me to what I was going to get going on. So with, like, the Ifa and all this, like I say, Papa Legba has been showing up for me. And, I mean, I can reflect on this. It's been enough where I'm kind of like, okay, what's going on? And in the past, when I've kind of explored it too, I only would get to, like, the voodoo information, and it would kind of freak me out. Like, I understand him as this crossroads person, and, when people talk about, like, the negative energies, they often will just go straight into, like, evil. But as you go further in your studies, you understand it's all about the balance. It's all about the polarity. It's one continuum. It's one constant. It's the yin yang. There's always balance, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. These sorts of things. So, I don't view it as scary anymore, right? Like, his colors are red and black and sometimes white, and it's like, oh, and it's like, yeah, I guess back then I was still more conditioned that I'm not anymore. So I guess I was still a little nervous when it was showing up again so strongly, though, recently, because I'm sitting here like, what is going on? Like, am I about to die? Like, am I choosing incorrectly? Have I chosen poorly? And maybe I haven't in some situations, but I think is also, like, I think he's making himself very well known to me. So I think I also wanted to, like, make sure I was clarifying, hey, I'm not calling out to him. I'm not asking for no favors. I'm not, because you got to be wise about that. And again, I don't know much about the Orisha world, and I'm doing my studies. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here telling anybody to do anything except research. Anything you do, research. So I'm still researching, and I'm learning more about his origin story, and it's sort of like, I mean, actually, from the Ifa sense, he represents like a real large primordial kind of force, and I don't know all the names or remember the story, so it's like, it's kind of rough for me to say it, like all of that. Maybe I can link to some of the videos I've been watching, which you know, again, do your own research. I'm still researching myself. There's probably better resources, or maybe these are perfectly great. I don't know, but I'll link some of them because that's what I do. His story reminds me of the Fool's Journey. Oh, friend I haven't spoken to him told me about that. Basically, it's the Fool's Journey. At first, he walks on clouds because he doesn't know he can't. And in the end, he walks on clouds because he knows that there's no way he cannot. So, you know, it's that, like, being so innocent, or as this one video said, having the audacity to know that, like, yeah, I can heal him. Like, no, you can't. You're just a child. You're little. But anyway, so, like, there's a lot of that innocent energy. Like, so, as an entity of reverence, like, instead of saying Papa Legba or Legba, and this is interesting too. I don't fully know all of the names. There's multiple names to represent different variations of, just like different states of, like different states of water. There's different states of the energies that we embody and we possess. And so do these other energies. Like, it's just all variants. I feel like there's some sort of a connection, if I were to be honest. And like, I know in like Ifa and finding your head and who controls your head and Orisha, and like, I don't know any of that. And I'm not even trying to pretend that I'm saying he has my head or that I'm doing any of this. Nope. I'm saying I just feel like a connection and a call and to pay heed. And as I start looking at these other aspects, I'm like, well, you know what? If he were a gene key, I bet he would be gate 26, or I bet he'd be 26. Or I'd be like, I bet he'd be running 26 energy. So I say this in the sense that, like, I've been posing the question, like, is there evil in me? And I know that there's, like, evil in the sense of, like, you know, I don't know, human aspect. Like, yeah, we've got this. We've all have our dark side or whatever. But sometimes I have to sit and ask myself, like, what is this version of self-sabotage that I seem to be so interested in? What is going on? Like, why is it, why 2 steps forward, 1 step back? Why 1 step forward, 2 steps back? Like, is this a test of my work? Am I not? And then I go back to, like, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe this is where the universe is like, look, all we've been asking for you to do is this, and you're doing everything else under the sun except nothing, right? Like, that would be the real projector thing. Just do nothing, and then it will show up, right? And maybe in my doing nothing, it is a matter of, like, for me, it's like, well, maybe that's when I need to be paying more reverence and respect to the energies that are keeping me in line and holding me here, you know? So I get kind of, like, I can trip myself up on that, and I'm still sort of, like, back and forth, like, and maybe this is what it'll always be, so that there's the push to continue to do better and do more and devote even more time. I mean, I was reflecting on this too, like, you know, there is no I, right? Like, technically. And yet the manifestation center in human design, I mean, is the throat center. And the voices of the throat are all I believe, I feel, I act, I have, I remember, I can, I lead, I am now, I experiment, I think, I know. So I was like, well, that's confusing. There's no I, but, like, the spot where everything happens is all I. And I do believe it's the I that's bigger than that. I was like, I wonder if this is like we as a collective, as humanity, maybe we act in a fashion as part of the voice of God. Maybe that's why glory and praise and prayer are so important. It's not so much as like we're just giving our gratitude to, you know, the Most High? What if it's like, this is the Most High having some affirmations for self? Well, like, I am good, like, and then all that other, like, when it's bad and filth, you know, that's like the cosmos talking shit about themselves. I don't know. I mean, like, that's kind of a funny way to look at it, I think. But I'm also really rediscovering the importance of rewriting the stories. So that's what makes it happy and fun to me, then that is okay. But yeah, so as she has been showing up, Papa Legba, actually I guess I still say Papa Legba, but I just understand that it's not, for me, is not the understanding of the Vodou tradition, because my intention anyways is to go as far back through the lineage as I can to understand, like, what is connecting with my DNA on like a real primeval kind of like existential way. Like, it's raw but it's deep, and it lights things up, you know. I'm interested in going further. That's why I'm trying to do all this stuff in community and share and blah blah blah. But I've definitely got the blah 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 down. Yeah, so anyways, I think that kind of, oh yeah, no, to finally tie everything together. So I'm sitting here, I'm looking at 26, and like I said, so it's in my it's prominent in my design, I would say, in my charts, and it's in my gene keys, and you know, it's been a gate. I've contemplated this whole trickster energy. I think it's one that I have shied away from. And in fact, when I was doing the gene keys deep dive for the activation sequence, I was like on point for everything until we got to purpose. Like, I stalled on reading and listening and all sorts of stuff. And I think there's something about that trickster energy. Like, you know, even the whole invisibility, this having a foot in two worlds, but at the gift of it being able to maneuver and flow effortlessly between the two. You know, I feel like I've said multiple times, and I've struggled, you know, with having a foot in two worlds. And then this is where I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, so Eshu, like, he's literally known, like, he takes the offerings to the rest of the Orishas. He's the bridger. He's the cross points. Like, he's the man. Like, he is, you know, the whole Yeshua tale, like, has been rewritten based off of a lot of Eshu stuff, if you really look at it, like the things that I'm starting to look at anyways, where I'm just like, what? Which is good for me, because it answers another question where I was getting, like, you know, really tripped up. Like, what if I'm wrong? What if Jesus is the path? Like, I do believe that there is master teacher Yeshua, and it's like, and then I listen to these sermons that, when I discern for myself, right, they are speaking a lot of truth, and I'm really hearing them on the God talk, and then I'm like, but like, is Jesus the way? Like, I mean, that has to be meaning something else, like the Christ consciousness within, something else like that. But now I'm like, oh, at least for me, there's an answer in this, and like, maybe for me, you know, paying respect to that, maybe Eshu is the way, like the way through to the higher things. I don't know, this is all an experiment, and I'm not, you know, I'm not saying or suggesting for anyone else. I'm like looking for myself and trying to tap in, you know, with what resonates the most for me, and just explore that. And so maybe this might be the exploration or the next step of the thing that I was like looking or hoping for, you know. Maybe there are some answers here. Maybe there's not. I mean, it's going to be a journey either way, ain't it? Like, the guy's a trickster. He's a jokester. And that's what I'm saying. Like, for all I know, this energy is prominent in me. Or maybe he is like a father energy for me. Like, Papa. Like, I mean, maybe that is like, you know, I don't know if I talked about it here. I've been talking a lot, like, in communication with people lately. So I know that there hasn't been as much need to, like, blah. And that's a lie. There's always a need to blah, but just to sit and do it, you know. So I know I have been talking about this, but the aspect of our, like, do you consider your higher self as all-knowing? And that was presented in the Modern Priestess Mystery School. And, you know, it's, I don't think I ever thought that, but it's one of those things, like, I don't think I really thought it out until that question was posed. So great example of why we have questions and do this anyways, not for answers, but just to see, like, where your head at, right? Because I don't think I thought that, but, like, I think maybe I act as if that's what I think. But, like, right, higher self is still on his journey. If there's all these variations and it's all energy and frequency and vibration, and we're just focused point of consciousness right here, and even our auras are like these other versions. Wouldn't our higher self just be another version of that? Like, I mean, I'm sure our higher version of self is like the one that's all at oneness with the all and God. But like my higher self, maybe 2 rungs up, maybe over in the 9th dimension or density or whatever. Maybe it's still got some things it's working on. I don't know. I just think that tickled me as like a thought, because then it's like, that kind of changes the game. And it's like, what if my soul is a little stubborn? You know, that question was posed too, and I was like, oh my gosh, what if my soul is stubborn? Like, here I've got all this fire energy coming up, and Leo this, but I'm a projector that, and I'm a 1 water in the 9-star key, and nothing is seeming to match up, and yet it was all designed so perfectly right down to the second so that I would have these particular energies. Oh my. Yeah. So what if my soul is just stubborn? And then I was thinking, so like that goes back to that question. It was like, so is there something just in me that is like evil or bad? And it's like, what if what is in me is this spirit, this energy? And I don't think it's a bad energy at all. Like, I mean, actually it's one of artfulness. It could potentially be quite beautiful, you know? It's like, but this, the demonizing is definitely part of that, like, oh, stay away from this, black folks. Don't look at your history. Don't look at your roots. Just bad stuff over here. And it's like, no, there's actually probably a lot of power. And a beautiful way of combining them, since I feel like the stories have been manipulated and stolen, right? Like, I just gotta, like, take the ick out of these stories. And then, yes, even the Bible, like, you can find the beauty of the Bible. I shouldn't say even the Bible. I think the Bible is beautiful, and there's a bunch of beautiful stuff in it. There's also a lot of crap in it too, to maneuver you away from it. So that's probably to be like, oh, the Bible is the word of God. Yeah, parts of it. And I mean, that's how technical are we getting? Like I was just saying, the throat is the manifestation center. So I mean, like, technically all of our words are the words of God. So one true living, I don't know, that's, now I'm going somewhere else, but so yeah, I'm excited to explore this. I found myself yesterday like wearing red and black. Like, look, I don't even own red and black like that. Like, I have this one sweater I stole from my mom a few years ago. Maybe I've worn once or twice. And for some reason I put that on yesterday. It was one of those, like, I don't know, you know, when you're not efforting and you're just witnessing. Like, that was a pure moment of witnessing, right? Like that, and the body was doing what it needed to do. And it's helping me have all these realizations and awarenesses. And, you know, I'm kind of excited to cultivate this relationship, or just to see what's there in this energy. And like I said, I feel like this energy has really been making itself known to me for quite some time, right? So I'm kind of like, he's probably like, finally, oh my gosh, we didn't know what else we had to do. Like, because there were the tricks, there were the good and the bad things, but like, I can look at it all at this point and be like, was that all you just trying to be like? So maybe it got my attention. So yeah, we had a nice cup of coffee this morning. Well, I had tea, he had coffee, and I'm just excited to cultivate that. Yeah. So the funny part was, full circle. They're concentric circles. So this is here, we're at the ending. Was that, like, so yeah, I was thinking I was going to wait until the sun earth moved. So, you know, just so I would start and not, you know, have to like worry about it changing. Not like I was worried about it changing, but, you know, whatever. I don't know, whatever story was given in through my head. Anyways, I went to take a look at the Rave Mandala. I was like, well, let me see what's coming up next for the Sun and Earth, right? Like, maybe I'll get some cards ready. Maybe I'll talk about it, because I was like, oh, you know, yeah, we're leaving the gate 35, and that's the gate of, with the voice of I feel, and I was gonna go a little bit more, I think, into the cognition and the feeling and stuff. But then I was like, oh, let me take a look, because I was thinking maybe that's why I felt so much energy to chat like so much this week. Like I was very active with my stories and with my breakthroughs and things. So that's what I was going to do. And then I was like, oh yeah, let me take a look and see where the Sun and Earth are going into next. And I was like, shut up, no way. Because I realized that the Sun was moving into gate 26. So the gate that I've been talking about, and this trickster energy, and this, I guess let me go ahead and pull out my I Ching cards. Just the Rave I Ching cards, just to talk about gate 26 a little bit more, since it is, so it's the taming power of the great, the maximization of the power of memory applied to the nurturing of continuity, the strength and will to support the tribe. So the egoists, fools, and liars are prophets too. So think about that in terms of like everything I was talking about with this trickster energy and Legba, and you know, fools and liars are prophets too. There's a lot of truth. So we're in line 1 right now. So a bird in the hand. Ooh, a bird in the hand. And this is what this image is. These are so beautiful to contemplate. I love this. This is by Linda Bunnell. These cards. And then so the Sun is, or the Earth is in gate 45. So just for good measure. Gate 45, gathering together, the natural and generally beneficial attraction of like forces. Generosity is the key to harmony in the community. This is the gatherer, the ruler. Well, then the 26 is, I guess it's the power of the memory too, being able to manipulate to get people to see things your way. So line 1 of gate 45 is canvassing. And then here's the image for that, the little Buddhas. See the lines. The hexagrams are opposite. So here's the Sun for this week, the next 6 days. Here's the Earth. I like this bonobo song. I don't know if you can hear it. Man, I love bonobo. Gotta see him a couple times. Oh my gosh. So awesome. Magical. Magical. I guess I could pull out the Gene Keys card too. Be sure. I also like these cards. So what I tend to do is I'll pull out the Sun and the Earth. As I have a body, well, like a sort of outline of the body design on a whiteboard on the back of my door. So I'll put the I Ching cards, the Rave I Ching cards on there in the spots, and I have like magnets and do a thing with like how I like the activations to show and things like that, because I'm cheeky. And then I'll put these beautiful Gene Key cards. Where is from the synthesis deck? These Gene Keys from the synthesis deck. Elijah Parker and Richard Rudd. Says magic is real. Actually, they have like a business card that says that, like when you buy this, and I keep the magic is real business card in my wallet. Not like I need a reminder, but you know, reminders don't hurt. I like a reminder. Oh yeah, that's right. And currently the South Node and the Moon is also in 26. 26 is having a party. I don't know. I haven't watched Karen Curry Parker's quantum human design breakdown yet. And I did watch the Shaitan and Corolla video. I think I linked that last time or the other time, but I don't really retain this information. You know what I mean? Like, it comes and goes. I know what I need to know in order to make the associations in my mind for me. But yeah, I do struggle with trying to communicate it. I'm acting like I can't just stop. Yeah, so 26, the gene key, this is how it goes, right? And see how beautiful, so much information. It's on the ring of light. Boop. Which we just left with gate 5 was where the sun just was. So we're still in the ring of light. And I also have the gate 11, so, but yeah, sacred tricksters. The channel of transmission is what the 26 is a part of, 26 to 44. The taming power of the great is the hexagram. Programming partners, communion. So yeah, but have to be careful of being manipulative and boastful. That's part of the shadow stuff. And that's interesting to read that right now, because I do feel like I'm in a space of like, I'm dancing between owning my awesome, right? Like, just own your awesome, step up, be who you are, like, your own tune. You're not here to play anyone else's song. Like, there's nothing to compete with. You are your own unique design, and you gotta own that. But I guess that is a fine line between, yeah, I'm being prideful and boastful. Like, how much of that is like I'm just building myself up so I keep taking action versus I'm trying to, well, I don't know. I guess it's intention, you know. If I'm not meaning to sound like that and someone else takes it like that, then isn't that on them? Like, you can tell. I don't know. I gotta munch on that one a little bit more, but that's certainly something I'm dealing with right now, or burning through, I guess. But yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited for these 6 days. It should be a doozy. They always are. Every day. Every gate, every line, every color, every tone. And we're here for it. We are so here for it. So anyways, thanks for being on that journey with me, and sending you lots of love and light, because you deserve it.